Quick question for you. Are you able to last for at least 18 seconds? What? No, it's not one of those kind of questions. It's a question that really makes a difference in how you run your business, how you relate to your peers, your customers, etc. I'm going to talk to you about why 18 seconds is so important coming up next in this episode of the VO Heroes podcast. Anybody who asks me, I will tell them that one of the biggest influences in my life as an entrepreneur, as a performer, as a speaker, as someone who is a student of business, is an author by the name of Tom Peters. He's the first person in my life in the 80s that opened my eyes up to the way different people run their businesses, how some run them better than others, how some are struggling, how some are really succeeding. And he is just filled, if you read his books, he's just filled with great lessons that you can learn on how to run your business. Now, we run a business that's built around performance. And one of the things that people say about performers, about actors in particular, and certainly about voice talent, is that, yes, it's about speaking, it's about emoting, it's about putting your face in a particular position, it's about putting your voice to a certain job, but it's mostly about listening. It's mostly about waiting to hear the clues that you need to be able to act, to respond to what people are saying. And this is true whether you're acting with a scene partner, whether you're acting with somebody in the studio doing voice work, or whether you're simply talking with someone at an event, or a potential client, or a potential supplier, somebody who's going to be selling you something. And the number 18 came up as the result of research done at Harvard about how long the average executive waits before interrupting their employees when they're having a conversation. Now, it could be in a meeting, it could be in a water cooler thing, it could be in a chat over dinner. Most people can't wait longer than 18 seconds before opening their mouths. And the other thing that they found is that the people who were patient and could wait for the other person to completely express what they were saying and find a reasonable and polite moment to begin their side of the conversation, those people, by and large, were far more successful than the ones who couldn't do it, who didn't have the patience, who couldn't wait, in some cases, 5 seconds before interrupting. And I'm sure you've had conversations with people like that. I'm sure you've had situations where you're like, let me get my thoughts out. Let me just explain this to you. But they were hell-bent to make sure you knew that they had something to say. So my question for you is, what can you do to have the patience, the discipline, the wisdom to wait? Wait for the other person to finish their thought, or to ask you for a response, or to give you a visual or verbal clue that they are ready for feedback. What can you do? It is simply a matter of being aware of it and practicing it. And if you do, the results can be spectacular. First of all, the respect that people have for you will dramatically increase. It will also stop you from knee-jerk reactions and jumping on threads and saying things that maybe you regret, maybe sending emails that you didn't really want to send after thinking about it. It's that moment when you actually take the time to let the information come to you. And it's amazing how much information will come to you if you just let the other person have their say. So, can you last 18 seconds? Is it something that's difficult for you? Are you working on it? I know I am. Let me know in the comments below. And by the comments below, I mean, of course, on voheroes.com. That's where the conversation usually takes place with these posts. It's sane. I wait at least 18 seconds before responding. It's polite. We love it. And By the way, if you like what you're hearing in these podcast episodes and they're helping you with your acting practice or your voiceover practice or whatever however the reason is, or whatever the reason is that you're listening to this podcast, please feel free to subscribe to it, share it, forward it to other actors and voice talent that you think might benefit from it. Hit the subscribe button if that's what you'd like to do. The like button is a beautiful oblong with rounded corners button, usually. Sometimes it's a little heart. Touch it gently. You don't even have to wait 18 seconds to do that. I'm David H. Lawrence the 17th. I thank you so much for watching and for listening, and I will see you in the next episode of the VO Heroes podcast.